So let's move on to the loan processing. So now
we're putting together, remember, we've talked to you, we've gotten your story, we may get letters of explanations on certain things. It all depends what's happened in your life. So that's where you may feel like we're getting a little bit personal, but we would rather make sure all of our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted before it goes into processing or underwriting. So that's our job, because we want to make sure that your loan is approved the first time around, not asking and,
oh, absolutely,
following up with so much.
Oh my gosh, our objective is to get you in the house of your dreams. So we try to do that as smoothly as possible. Sometimes we do have to come back and ask for extra things. But at this point, what we're doing is behind the scenes, our loan processors are actually verifying employment. We do call the employer, not Peggy and I and Pa, but our loan processors will call the employer and we will get verification on dates that you left, dates that you started, and all that kind of stuff. We order the appraisal. Our processors order the appraisal. If you want an inspector, you order the inspection. We don't get involved in the inspection process. And an appraiser and an inspector are two different things. We're going to cover that more in the appraisal process in a couple of months. But
just know that the inspection is where you're spending about 3 to 4 hours with that inspector in the house, and they're going through it and going nitty-gritty, trying to figure out anything and everything that could possibly go wrong with that house, or giving you ideas and tips on how to take care of the house. The appraiser is there all of about 5 to 10 minutes maximum. They're taking pictures, measuring things, and they are coming up with a valuation on the property. So two totally different things. A lender doesn't want to see your inspection, because trust me on this, even if you're buying a brand new house, they'll come up with something that could be wrong with that house. And we don't want to see it, because knowledge to the loan originator is knowledge to our underwriter. So some things we do not want to be involved in.
That's right. And that's a good segue, because now we can talk about our underwriters. That's a great question. So now we gathered our information, we passed that on to the processors, they've gathered their information in the background, and that goes now to the underwriter. The underwriter is the specialist here. They want to see if loaning money is risky or not, if loaning the money to buy this house is risky or not. So they compile all the research, they look at everything with a little bit more of a fine-tooth comb that we did and then the processors did. They're checking your employment record, your income, all this stuff is now compiled and sent off to the underwriter. History, credit scores, property information, they are the final decision maker. So if you think of it like they take care of the 3 C's, credit, collateral, and capacity to repay. So credit kind of sounds like what it sounds like. They're checking your credit. The collateral, they're making sure the house is valued properly and that the amount that you're borrowing against the property.
They're also checking on title. So they're checking on the research of the title to the property to make sure that you're getting free and clear title to that property.
That's right. So that's what a title company does. A lot of people ask that too. What do? They're making sure that nobody has a legal claim to the property that you're about ready to purchase. So, make sure contractors that have previously been hired prior to you looking at the property, make sure everybody's been paid, all bills against that house have been paid, so that you come into the house with a free and clear title like Peggy had mentioned.
So they're gonna finalize all of the money. So they're gonna find out anything and everything that seller owes against the property, and making sure that everything is paid in full at that closing table when all the money changes hands, so that, again, nobody can come back after you and say, excuse me, you owe me money.
That's right. So the underwriter has the ability to approve, suspend, or deny. Approve is obvious. Suspend means hold off from now. Let's wait until we gather some more information. And deny, you guys, that rarely, really, we've done all of our homework along the way that, when we get to the end, that just typically,
unless it's something totally out of where we didn't see something at all, or the story wasn't correct, or somebody wasn't telling us everything that we needed to know, or answering our questions appropriately, that's where your story comes in.
That's right. So before we move on to closing, what questions can we answer for you guys?
If you would like to see the full video, please email me at trish.tootloff@cibimmortgage.com or give me a call here at the office at 920-457-5626.